The first part of the lesson is over. Let me give you an advice, and that's every time you see that I pause the video, I give you some tips and I want you to do them exactly as I tell you. Watching the videos immediately after each other is really not going to be helpful. And finishing an episode at once is really not going to help you, even if you're in a hurry. You should do all the things I have been predicting for you. And imagine this is your class time right now, and now it's time for the practice. Now you should practice all we talked through right now, and you're not going to be able to draw this file I just drew. And you can find that in your package ready. You will try everything. You will go to the 3D, to the plan, and you should practice everything in it. And remember, we have no rush. In order to learn, you should work based on the principle. So, if you see I've prepared a practice for you in any spot of this package, please do the practice. Imagine you're sitting in your classroom and you must use that time in order to practice. So, let's go and learn the first tool in Revit, which is called the wall. We usually start our project in Revit with the wall because the rest of the objects are mostly related to the wall. In which headline can we find the wall? That's right, in the architecture. You can see the icon here. Most of the tools you see in Revit have a kind of arrow under it. And when you click on it, you see some subsets. And when I don't point out to open the subset, click on the part on the top so that you can open the main part. The shortcut for drawing wall is WA, and you can also use the W plus space. There are some tools that you can use space instead of the second letter. For example, for the wall, instead of using WA, you can use W space and it will be the same thing. But it doesn't happen to every tool, just for some of them. To activate the wall, we click on this icon or use the WA shortcut or W space. So I click on it and the wall is activated. To start a wall, just like AutoCAD, you can choose a point to start your drawing. In the AutoCAD, the first thing that comes to our mind is that the wall is straight. So we click on F8 and turn it on. But in Revit, there is no need for that. There is actually no such button for it. If you pay attention in the Revit, when we get a bit close to the completely straight line, it will be straight itself automatically. And then a blue line will appear in the middle of our wall that shows the wall is straight. So don't worry about the wall's direction. And one more thing is that when I move my mouse a little, the wall will not lose his direction and will stay constant. So as long as it's on the area of the straight line, it will not change. So now, how do we manage its size? How do we measure the size of our wall? You should have already managed your size, and mine is on meter now. So I start drawing. While I'm drawing this, I can enter the number. At first, choose the direction like the AutoCAD. For example, will it be to right? And how much will be the length? I choose, for example, 10.10 and then click on it. For example, here, I write 6 and then click. And I keep doing it. 6, click. So now, how can I draw it angled? In Revit, we have no special place for you to enter that angle. So if I want to bring my angle down, you will hold your mouse and you will drag it down to change your angle. And after that, I will write its length, for example, 12. Let's do it one more time. For example, with 27 degree to down, I get it down, and when I see 27, I stop. I let my mouse go and I will write down the length. Just like this. The extensions in Revit are automatically there. For example, if you bring that here, it gives you the extension. It also gives you the parallel extension from that. As you can see, I should manage it too. And these extensions are really good in Revit. But if you want here's extension, it doesn't give it to you. You should draw another wall so that it gives it to you. And I bring it here and draw it and close it. Just like that. So now let's talk about the snaps. The snaps in Revit are completely like the snaps in AutoCAD. There are just a couple of small differences that I will show you. For example, they have the same midpoint, as you can see. For example, when I want to draw the perpendicular here, that's what I do. Just like the AutoCAD, its sign will appear too. Let me draw another wall here too. You see, intersection. One of the different things in here is the nearest, which in AutoCAD there are two triangles on each other, but here is just the cross. And it's a light cross, but the intersection is a bit less lighter cross. But they're kind of alike. Nearest and intersection have nearly the same sign. Something that might happen to you is that you might want a snap, but it doesn't give it to you. For example, you come here, and here is both endpoint and midpoint. You see, it's endpoint and the intersection. If you tap here, it switches between the possible snaps that it can give it to you. Friends, we are going to need this point for a long time. Did you figure out? If you wanted a snap and it doesn't give it to you, tap on it so that you can use the snap you are willing to use. There is a funny point in the Revit that in AutoCAD there's another kind of it. If you drag this here and you want to close it, in AutoCAD you click on C. But here, if you want to close it, its shortcut is SZ. But there's also another point. If you click on SZ, it will show you, but it doesn't close it. One click after that, you can close the design. Let me show you on another shape. For example, I'll draw this, and here I want to close it. Click on SC. It will show you that it's closed, but it's not done. Click and it's done. This is how it's done in Revit. Now let's talk about the different kinds of selection. Here we have an arrow that its duty is to select, but it's written modify under it, but don't care about it, it's selection. It can be a better name for it. So that arrow's duty is to select. You will click on it, or you can click on escape on your keyboard. Click on escape once or twice and it will go on that arrow. Now you can select. We have three kinds of selection in Revit that are just like AutoCAD. The first kind is to open a rectangle from left to right. But in what way can we select? As you can see now, it doesn't select anything. If one object is completely on this rectangle, then it will be selected. But if I open it from right to the left, it's just enough to get close to that object and it will select it. If even a small part of it is in that window, it will select it. Now, what is the third kind? The third kind is to click on an object, one click and it will be selected. Very simple and quickly. When can it be useful? When two objects are overlapped. When two objects are on each other. When you click on it, it selects only one of those objects. If you want to choose all the walls that are connected to each other, for example, all the walls that are around the design, if you go on a wall and tab it once or twice, all the walls will be highlighted, not selected, but highlighted. And then what you will do is that you will click on it and then it will be selected. You see, it's a really important point and you must learn it. So let's do it one more time. You move your mouse to one of those walls that are connected to each other and you want to choose all of them. Tap once or twice, usually once. All the walls that are connected to it will be highlighted. And then click only once. And don't move your mouse. You see, when you tap, don't move your mouse somewhere else because it will be cancelled. Tap and immediately click. For example, you see these two that are connected to each other. If you tap and click, it will select only these two. Tap, click. You see, very simple. It does it for us continuously. You can also add your selection in this way. You can hold the control and add parts, and when you hold the shift it will be fewer. And as you know, the Control Z will undo a part and Control Y will redo. It means it brings back those that you undo. If you want to delete an object, for example this one, I select it and then you can click on that cross or click on delete in your keyboard. It has shortcuts too, but why do we do that? When you click on delete in your keyboard, it will be deleted. So we learned how to draw straight walls and some other techniques that if you think it's necessary, watch it all again so that you get to know it in a perfect way. Please draw an image. I will upload them for you carefully.